Hello, my dear friends. I'm Shubhoy Banerjee once again here with you. And today I'm going to discuss on a very important topic, which is very relevant for the school and college children, as well as for the parents. And that is regarding pertaining to the new education policy that the government of India has implemented. Most of us, we are not aware of the new education policy. We have heard about it. We are talking of NEP. But most of us are not aware of the different salient features, the intricacies that are involved inside this education policy. So today I'll give you a brief description about what the education policy is about. The NEP 2020 was introduced as a transformative framework aimed at revamping the India's education system. And the NEP, it aimed, it is aimed to modernize the education system of India, focusing in, inclusivity, foundational literacy, and all the new education systems that can be incorporated into it. Lots of technologies, digitizations, and other new modes, modern modes of educational tools that can be incorporated in this education system to make it more easy for the students, to make it more absorbing for the students. So I'll just go through this education policy. I'll just take you through this education policy in my presentation. Now, this is the new National Education Policy 2024-25, the present one that we have, and everything you should know about this education policy. This has been prepared by me. And this is basically for the children. The introduction is the new education policy 2024 was recently approved by the Union Cabinet. And it follows the NEP 2020 with key reforms to make Indian education more holistic, flexible, and 21st century ready. Aims to enhance learning outcomes and skill development. So it is basically aimed with a more pragmatic sort of, objective to make students learn the skill sets, the practical use of education. So what happens, we learn lots of things, but we are not able to apply them in our life. We are not able to apply them in our work sphere. We are not able to apply them in our job sphere. We are not able to apply them in, relate them with different other things in our life. So how to streamline and create professionals out of the education that a boy or a girl receives. So this is the basic framework to make it more fruitful. The effects of new education policy. The new education policy prioritizes skill-based education, emphasizing critical thinking and problem solving over rote learning. Rote learning is something, mugging up the thing, just memorizing the chapters or the paragraphs, the concepts. And suppose in physics, there is the concept of force and motion. So just learning the formulas and memorizing them. Instead of that, learning the concept of what is the concept of motion, what is the concept of gravity, what is the concept of the velocity, all these different concepts. And then based on that, the student can analyze them, critically think about it. So it is not mugging up, it is not memorizing the facts and concepts. It is rather understanding, analyzing the concepts very, uh, very, no, descriptively and in a proper manner, in a very structured manner. It promotes inclusivity, ensuring equal opportunities for diverse learners while integrating local languages and cultures for a balanced global perspective. So, equal opportunities. There are sometimes, language becomes a barrier. Not everybody is uh, fluent in English or maybe in Hindi or other languages. So, according to the regional languages, according to the regional language or whatever the people were the most the common lingua franca. So it has been structured in that way. So it shall not only be in English but in other languages too. So there should be proper balance. Then strengthen teacher training and increase financial uh, investments aim to enhance education infrastructure. So educational infrastructures, they have to be, investment has to be made like computer labs, digitization of, digital classrooms and all those things. Our strong focus on digital education prepares students for a technology-driven future. Through NEP 2025, the nation is advancing towards holistic and meaningful learning. So digital classes are they are already there existing, but not in large number. Uh, so the spread has to be more. So digital classrooms, it has its own advantages, and the concepts becomes very clear, the diagrams and all these things. Suppose a teacher is teaching the circulatory system of heart. There, the digital classroom, if you have a board, the diagrams and everything, it becomes very clear. So the students can understand the concept. So understanding the concept is the main uh, aim and objective of this policy. Then there is a very important thing, that is the structural overhaul, and this everybody has to understand very well. It is a 5+3+3+4 system. Now it has been divided into 4 stages, and these 4 stages are: first is the foundational stage, which begins from 3 years to 8 years. A 3-year-old child usually goes to the play school in the local area, some play school. So that play-based learning for cognitive and socio-emotional development till 8 years. Then the preparatory stage, which is from 8 to 11 years, focus on literacy and numeracy with structured learning. So the student starts learning, the number to calculate the numbers, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, all these things, and simple arithmetic and mathematics, along with structuring of words, making sentences, learning the meanings of different vocabularies, and different other stories and concepts and all. So it has to be very structured, so that the base of the student is properly made, the foundation is properly laid. Then is the middle stage, which is from 11 to 14 years, and 11 to 14 years student is expected to have this subject oriented education: math, science, arts, social sciences, etc. So all combination of different subjects, and the student need to study, and they have to, and that too has to be very competency based. It is not rote learning, as I told you before. Then secondary stage, 14 to 18 years, flexible subject choices without rigid streams. So it is not necessary that a student who is studying physics, he has to only study the science subjects. He can choose any other subject also. Maybe he can choose economics, he can choose music. So it depends on that. Then board examinations, reduced pressure, increased flexibility. Board exams to be conducted twice a year. So it will be conducted twice a year. So a student would get a chance to appear twice a year. Suppose he wants to improve or she wants to improvise his grade, his mark in a particular subject, he can do so or she can do so. Like suppose in maths, somebody has got 70. So suppose one wants to improve the marks. He can appear for the second time and he can, suppose he or she scores 85, then that mark will be considered. But if he or she scores somewhere, say 68, but that then in that case the 70 would be considered. So the highest student can retain their best scores out of the two. Then concept on-demand examinations introduced. Focus on comprehension and competence over rote learning. That is very important. No more memorizing of the chapters and the books and the question and answers, but instead of that, competence-based questions. Learning the real concept, understanding the concept, comprehending the concept, and based on that, the question and answers has to be solved. Multidisciplinary learning. So no rigid segregation between art, science, and commerce. All we now everything is, so far it had been all separated, untouchable. So as arts stream student cannot study science, or science student, vice versa. Science cannot study arts or commerce like this. But now a student can have mix of subjects. Students can mix subjects based on their interest, like I told you before. Chemistry and music. Suppose somebody is learning, studying chemistry. At the same time, he can take up music also. If somebody is into, biology, he can take up history or economics. So it is based on that, his own choice or her own choice. So in this case, what happens? A student is able to further his or her education according to his or her own area of interest, which is very useful both for the student as well as for the nation building. That shall churn out the real talents. If anybody studies a subject according to his or her own choice or likeness, in that case, he or she is going to be 100% successful in that subject. So that is good for the nation also. It's good for the nation building. We get a talent bank. So good students, good students in different subjects would come up. So that is one way of positive, talent search, you can say. Then encourages critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving. That is what I told you. No more rote learning, but creative thinking and understanding of the subject. Language learning. Very important. 2 languages compulsory in class 11 and 12. At least one must be an Indian language. So India is a country with so many languages, local languages, more than 30 more main important languages like Punjabi, Gujarati, Marathi, Bengali, Odia, Kannada, so many languages, Tamil. So, and each one of them are very rich in their own way. They have very rich literature, each one of them. Hindi, they have very, 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 very rich literary resource. So that, that rich linguistic heritage can be retained. So at least one must be an Indian language and aims to preserve India's rich linguistic heritage. That is what I told you just now. Then early childhood education. Free and compulsory education extended from 3 years to 18 years. Previously, it was 14 years, I believe. Now it is 18 years. It recognizes that 85% of brain development happens before the age of 6. Now, most of the psychologists, and they have found that the brain development takes place around 5 to 6 years before that. So, before the age of 6. So, more, care and attention shall be given towards the development of the brain, the retention capacity, the memory, and all these different other aspects. towards, that comes when the child is in the early stage of his education or her education. Then focus on pre-primary education for a very strong foundation. That is very, very important. So that builds the foundation. Pre-primary education really lays the foundation of a student. Vocational education and skill development. Vocational training is very important. Vocational training, in the sense, suppose a student is studying science, at the same time he can learn photography. He can learn how to make furnitures by learning carpentry, or maybe some other art, some other skills. So there are other vocational training, different vocational trainings. That is a sort of, an extra additional sort of art they learn, and that shall open areas for new job opportunities. So vocational training integrated from an early age ensures job-ready skills alongside general education. So alongside general education, student is getting this vocational training, which is also adding up to his, it's value adding to his capabilities or her capabilities. Now, promotes entrepreneurship and self-employment. So he or she can pursue that vocational training, whatever he or she has taken, as a career option. Teacher training and development, very important. Teachers have to be trained. They have to be kept updated with the different things that are changing every day. So continuous professional development, that is CPD mandatory. Certified training programs to enhance teaching skills. Cost of textbooks to be rationalized for affordability. So both for beneficial for the students as well as the teachers. Technology in education, as I told you, digital classrooms, online resources, and EdTech solutions. So online resources, digital classrooms, these are the new concepts. And they are going to bring a sort of revolution. Market, it's going to bring a sort of revolution in the coming decades. So that is a new concept of education. And without that, the education won't be complete. The modern education won't be complete. Bridging the urban and rural education divide. Far-flung villages, remote areas, they don't have access to proper, teaching facilities and all. That can be, solved. That can be resolved by this sort of technical aids. Cyber School Manager provides school ERP solutions to align with NAP 2024 goals. So there will be alignment. So whatever goals have been set by the NAP, and what the school, how the school or the institution is progressing, there has to be an alignment. That alignment can be, can be maintained by these ERP solutions, the software solutions. So a proper data would be maintained, a database of the progress of the school, which is, I think, most important, and that shall help the schools and different institutions to keep in track. To conclude, forward-looking vision, conclusion, NEP 2024 brings holistic, flexible, and student-centric reforms. It's all for the students, for the betterment of the students, encourages critical thinking, imagination, and problem solving over rote learning. No more mugging up, no more memorizing the things without understanding the concept. So it is better that a person understands the concept, a student, a pupil, he or she understands the concept. Once he or she understands the concept, then it becomes better for her to represent instead of memorizing it. So that is a very important step, and a step towards making India a global knowledge powerhouse. So this is all. Thank you very much. But before I conclude, I request all of you to please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.